Hey you guys, Big Stomp Princess here with another DIY at-home pedicure. So I'm just starting off by dropping in my foot soak pellet that's got all the great herbal stuff in it that's going to get my feet soft and, get that ball rolling. So while that is kind of dissolving and opening up, I'm just getting these socks off so that I can get these size 11s in this nice hot water. I chose to do my pedicure by myself at home because A, I'm extremely busy, but B, whenever I was removing my acrylic about 2 weeks ago, I was not very careful. I used the Dremel, the e-file. I kind of got my cuticles. I kind of cut myself a little bit. I was not very careful removing it, so my toenails are paper thin. They're cracked in a couple of places. They're a little broken, so I wanted to A, give them about a week or so to heal. I think it was 2 weeks actually, but B, I didn't want to, go and see a new nail tech. My personal nail tech is also on maternity leave, so I didn't want to trust anyone with it. They were very fragile, so I just decided to do them at home. So now that my feet are in the water, I did let them soak. This is not a true tutorial. I'm kind of just walking you guys through what I did, and I did cut things very short, so you guys are getting the shortened version. And so right now I'm just showing you guys close-ups of, my calluses, my kind of cracked and dry heels. It's wintertime, so my feet are peeling a little bit because it's cold and I've been walking around barefoot. So yeah, just showing you guys what we are starting off with. Yeah, like you can see that little micro crack right there on my big toenail. Again, just really fragile, really thin, very uneven. So we are doing it at home the Big Stomp Princess way. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put these size 11s back in that water, let them soak just a bit more to kind of loosen and soften everything up. I'm preparing my towel. I see that you guys noticed the gloves that I have on. We are about to go to work. So I'm going to, start with my right foot. I'm going to kind of get it dried off a little bit and then go in with the callus softener. I got a really nice one. It's online. I can link anything in the description box if you guys are interested. But you just go ahead and put that onto the callus on the bottom of my feet as well as the big one on the side of my big toe. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. You guys are getting the abbreviated version, but I did let it sit for about 5 minutes before I go in and, get to scraping. So I'm going to let you guys watch that process on both of my feet, and then I will come back whenever we move on to the next stage. All right. Yes, that was quite the improvement on the first foot. So I'm just going to repeat that same process on the left foot, going in with that callus softener, letting it soak in on that big callus on the, side of my big toe. I'm going to go in and, really soak it in on the callus on the ball of my foot as well. And then, I'm going to go ahead and use that same, scraper and gently scrape it off. I don't know if you noticed in the first one, I did speed it up a bit, just for the length of the video. No need for it to be an hour. But I am using gentle strokes. I'm not going in really hard. I'm not trying to just rip off skin. That callus softener works very well, so you really don't have to apply too much pressure. You definitely don't have to dig in deep. I'm not trying to cause myself any harm. If you overfile and get past the callus to your own skin, that can be very painful. I've definitely done it before, got a little overzealous. So it's just a gentle back and forth. Everything should just kind of start to scrape off in layers. And then what you're left with is something very, nice and soft and smooth. All right, and now that is good to go. I'm putting my feet back in the water. I'm gonna let them soak for another 10 or so minutes just to help loosen anything up so that whenever I go in for this stage, it's a lot easier. So right now I'm pushing on my cuticles, removing any of that dead skin. I am also scraping off any leftover glue or acrylic residue from the last time my nails were done. So as you can see, all of that is really kind of scraping off nicely, getting in there and removing any dirt, any dead skin, any, loosened cuticle. That's really going to help give that crisp, clean look at the end. And I know that this looks a little violent. I promise you guys, I'm being extremely gentle. This is a part where you have to be really nice to yourself. You can cut yourself very easily. I have a couple of little scabs. I'm not sure if it's this foot or the other one, but you can kind of see. Be gentle with yourself. Give it lots of love. I definitely abbreviated this part as well, but this part alone took me about half an hour to 45 minutes because I was being very careful. So, if you're going to do this at home, please, please do the same. All right, and now that I've removed everything to my satisfaction, I'm just gonna go in with the hand file and gently shape the toenails a little bit. I'm not going to overfile because, the polygel is going to go on over this and it's definitely going to have to be shaped too. But this is just kind of evening out any obvious, ridges and bumps. And then also, just kind of straightening up my natural nail just a bit. I did do this on both of my feet. I did not record the full process just for brevity again. But once I get everything kind of filed and shaped down a bit and, to my liking for this stage, I'm going to go in with some rubbing alcohol. And this is just in case there are any tiny cuts or anything, as well as to remove some of the debris and dust so that I can move on to the next stage. So that's what you see me doing now. Just kind of doing a, light brush. Sorry guys, could not find that word there for a moment. So yeah, just going in and kind of brushing away some of that debris, cleaning everything up a little bit after spraying on the alcohol. I'm going to do that for both sides and then move on. And that's how they look, all cleaned up for the moment. Not too bad. I'm actually pretty impressed with it, especially for doing it here at home myself. So yeah, I feel pretty good about where we're where we're starting off. Let's see where we end up. So here I'm going in with a nail dehydrator. This is all just to prepare my nails for the next step. I'm going to put that again on each of my toenails, and then I'm going to go in after that with the base coat. It is the base coat for my polygel. It's similar to acrylic for those who don't know, but it is different. It's a little more flexible. It's a bit lighter. So the reason that I'm preparing and going through that entire process, which you will see here on camera, is because, as I mentioned, my nails are paper thin. They are cracked, they are breaking. So I definitely need to give them a layer of hardener and protection. That's definitely what the polygel is going to do. It's going to serve as a base and reinforce my super thin nails so that I can actually work with them and decorate them without fear of them splitting or breaking dangerously low, or, me getting hurt in some kind of way. So that's why I'm doing all of this. So the dehydrator went on in preparation, and now I'm going in with that base coat. It is kind of sticky, and you do have to cure it under the nail lamp. So that's what you're about to see. I'm going to put it on both of my feet, and then you're going to see me cure them under the lamp. I'm not going to show the entire curing process, but I do cure them for 2 minutes. You're going to see the super cut down version. So it's only going to look like a couple of seconds here, but each round under the lamp did last for 2 minutes. As you'll notice, I am not going in with super thick layers of this stuff. It doesn't take a lot. You really don't have to do too much. I'm just coating the nail in a single decent layer and then curing it under the lamp. All right, guys, now we can move on to what ended up being my absolute favorite part. I really impressed myself with this. I'm going to extend my broken nails. So I don't know if you guys could see, you're about to get a better view of it, but this nail was broken pretty jaggedly. It's pretty diagonal as well. It didn't break down to the quick, but very close. So what I'm doing is going in with my nail form. I'm fitting it underneath the broken parts, so it is, not exposing any of my undernail, I guess, the skin under my nail. So once everything is fitted, I'm now just going in with my polygel, and I'm layering that on the same way you would layer on acrylic. I'm going, to my nail, and then I'm extending it onto the nail form so that I will have an even base, something very thick and something that I can work on that looks and feels like my nail. So you do have to cure those layers in between under the nail lamp. And then I'm going in with another layer just to be sure that it's thick enough. And then you guys will see the finished product that I can then file and shape and clip just like my normal nail. This was my first time ever doing anything like this. This is my first time doing polygel, actually, let alone extending a nail. So I, again, was very impressed. Check me out, guys. Oh, what I am using is acetone, because after you put on the polygel, it leaves a sticky kind of tacky layer. So just some 100% acetone takes the stickiness right off, and there you have it. So now I'm just going to repeat that same process minus the nail form. I don't need to extend anything or rebuild anything. So I'm just going to repeat the process of layering on the polygel on all of my toes. And then I will, move on to the other foot, do some filing and shaping. I'm just going to kind of cut out for a second until this whole thing is done. And by whole thing, I mean this foot. And then I will come in and talk you guys through the next steps. Boom, the polygel layer is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and cure that under the lamp. I know it looks a little messy, but trust the process. I'm nowhere near done. So now that that's, hardened, I'm going in with that acetone again, removing that tacky, sticky layer. And then I'm going to go to work with my hand file. So this is a really important step for me. I definitely prefer to do my hand filing first. This is what I use for shaping, the polygel nails. So I want everything to look really crisp and neat. So I tend to take a long time with this process. I think this was probably an hour. Again, I'm no professional. This is just me doing this at home. So, I'm pretty sure my professional techs out there, et cetera, can do this in, half the time, less, even faster. So, but this was actually really relaxing for me, so I've sped this up, but I did do all of my shaping with the hand file on both feet before going in with the e-file. I think I only show you guys my right foot, and then I'm going to break out the e-file, the Dremel for my other foot. So, yep, just kind of relax, check out this process, enjoy. I will be popping in here and there to give some little tidbits, talk you through the next steps, but it's basically just some filing and shaping here for the interim. Hey, little lovelies. Your favorite goddess is just cutting in here with a friendly reminder that I accept custom requests. Some of you ask for, larger scale model car crushes or, specific electronics and things like that. And my answer is always that everything here on my YouTube channel is free, but for certain things over a certain size, over a certain dollar amount, those are custom requests. But I absolutely do them. And I, have a couple of openings, but I do get a few custom requests a week. Those are prioritized before any of the free requests on my YouTube channel. So, I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details, but I wanted to let you guys know that that is always, always, always an option. And I have an example right here. I will be crushing this little beauty a little later tonight. I did receive this from a subscriber. So I do have a mail service where you guys can, purchase things and send them to me to crush at your expense. There is a few days delay with that because I do use a third-party parcel service for anonymity. So if you don't mind a wait, you can absolutely send me things directly and we can negotiate all of the particulars and I will crush it for you and I will send you a link. Now, this particular subscriber was okay with me, guys, giving you a teeny tiny teaser. So this is the car. I'm going to show you the barest hint of the crush and the rest is exclusive to that subscriber. So if you guys are ever interested in anything similar to this or something else, feel free to email me, bigstomprincess@gmail.com, and we can talk about it. Talk to you later, little lovelies. Happy crushing. And there is the finished product for the moment. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I'm just going to very, very quickly put on my polygel on my left foot. I'm going to hand file that off camera, and then I'm going to go in with the Dremel. With this step, I'm definitely just polishing everything up, smoothing everything out. I'm making sure to go in along my nail bed and kind of define that, making sure that everything is very crisp, very clean, and, ready for the decorations. So after I do this step, I'm going in with some rubbing alcohol again. This is to make sure if there are any tiny micro cuts or anything that they are sanitized, as well as brushing away any of that dust and debris. So, we don't have time for infections and we want to make sure that our work looks good so far. So, yep, I'm just doing that, and I will show you guys what both of my feet look like once I've done this step on both of them, and then we are going to get into the decoration. And there they are. Guys, I'm so proud of myself. They're not perfect, but for having never ever worked with polygel before, I'm over the moon. They're as close to perfect as I could have ever wanted. So I feel confident in my ability to do my own toes in a pinch, and I think I'll only get better. So moving on to the super duper fun part, let's go ahead and get them decorated. I am going with a dark blue and a light blue theme. So I am going in with a deep French in dark blue on my big toe. So now that I've gone ahead and got the polish on, I am using an acetone soaked brush to just really go in and define that French, as well as clean up any of that, extra polish around, around my toe, so that everything just looks really crisp and clean. I wanted to get it as nice as I could. So I'm going to show you guys how each nail I think turns out, kind of the in between, and then you'll get to see the finished product. So I am finishing up this French, and I am really actually happy with the way that it turned out. So I can't wait for you guys to see that piece, which should be coming up any moment now. Bam! So the next toe is this light blue kind of tealish color. I'm deciding to do this one as a solid, so I'm kind of alternating. I'm doing French solid. I'm going to do a special design on my middle toe, so then it is going to be French with the light blue again, and then my baby toe will be the solid dark blue. So I'm just kind of going in and finishing up that. And then I'm going to paint a design on my second toe and my baby toe, and then add rhinestones galore and show you guys the finished product. So this, I do not know what is wrong with me, guys. I always forget to put these on before I start painting my toes. So then I have to be super duper careful as I put it on, because yes, inevitably I need more space that I do not have, so I have to use the toe spacer, and I always end up messing something up and then having to redo it, but I guess that's part of the fun. So after I get my toe spacer in, I will go ahead and paint my baby toe that solid dark blue, and then go from there. Oh, yep. Clean up, making sure that everything is just really crisp. I do not remember exactly which order I filmed this stuff in, so I should probably stop guessing ahead as to what is coming next, and I guess we'll just find out together. So yes, I'm going in with that acetone soaked brush, and I cleaned up my solid second toe, and now I'm going in and just kind of cleaning up that French, as well as any of that toenail polish that, kind of seeped onto the side of my toe or anything. And now I'm going in and painting my baby toe dark blue. I know you guys got a little bit of flash of that, but now I'm moving on to the rhinestones on my big toe. So there's going to be quite a few here. So I'm just kind of, slathering that glue around, and then I'm going to go in with this flower effect that I wanted to do. So I'm taking a clear crystal gem as the center of the flower, and then I'm taking these baby blue petals, and I believe I used 5 of them to kind of go around to do that kind of flower petal effect along the side of my big toe. And I did mention I wanted to paint a design, so I'm going super duper simple. I'm just going in with some white on that solid baby blue toe. I'm doing just kind of 3 abstract lines, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of silver glitter in between them. Like I said, nothing super fancy, just keeping it cute. And for my baby toe, since it was solid and I wanted to do something to each toe, I went in with just a solid line of silver glitter there as well. So you can kind of see how it turned out, but you'll definitely get a better view later. I'm curing that under the lamp. I'm only doing a minute on these cures. I will do a solid 2 minutes on the final one. So now that everything is dry, I'm going in and adding some rhinestones to that second. I decided I wanted to do some dark blue, just kind of at the base of where those abstract lines start. And then on that, I guess, kind of ring toe, I'm adding a tiny row of dark blue rhinestones beneath the French tip line, so I'm keeping with the alternating dark blue, baby blue. And I think that turned out really well. And then for that middle toe, I'm going to do a fully blinged out nail. So I'm covering it in rhinestone glue, and then I'm just going in and I'm going to be alternating some clear and some, I think it's light blue. They both end up looking kind of clear, but one is supposed to be completely clear and one is supposed to be light blue. So what you saw me doing before I was adding the rhinestones is just going in with a brush to help evenly spread that rhinestone glue so that I didn't have it clumped in some places and light in others. So yeah, I'm adding the last of those rhinestones, and there we go. I'm actually really happy with how this design turned out. It still looks a little rough right now, but after I cure everything, I'm going to show you guys the completely finished product on both feet in sunlight so that you can see just how cute these turned out. I'm really impressed with myself, and I've received a million compliments, so can't wait for you to see them. Right now I'm putting on my final top coat. I was curing the glue and making sure that everything was set, so now I'm going in with my gel top coat. I'm going to cure that under the lamp as well. I'm going to do that for 2 minutes, and then like I said, I'm going to get into the sunlight and I'm going to show you guys how these turned out. And just a little note here, whenever you're doing your top gel coat, it is really thick, so it can run. That's why I'm kind of doing this in stages instead of just putting a bunch on, because I really didn't want to have to clean it up. And once you actually get it under the curing lamp, sometimes it can burn, and then it's kind of difficult to remove if it goes all over the place. So just be kind of careful with that. Let's get these toe spacers off. I'm going to show you guys what both of them look like here. Still a little rough, but very pretty, and identical. So I was very proud of, the consistency in the design. Now I'm going to put on some cuticle oil, some lotion, and show you guys what they're going to look like day to day. Aren't they absolutely lovely? Like I said, I've received a ton of compliments on these. Whenever I tell people that I actually did them at home, they think that I'm joking. People have asked me, if I'm kind of starting out, and the answer is absolutely no. I'm not trying to make this a profession. As soon as my nail tech is back from maternity leave, I will be running back to her. But it is great that I, know that I can do this. And if I were to practice, I would get better. So I have no excuse. Unless you guys are paying for ugly feet, my feet should always look nice. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching my first attempt at polygel toes. I really appreciate it. If you would like to see anything else, email me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Mwah!